She would snap at him for the smallest things, criticize him constantly, and spend money as if it grew on trees. In the heart of Calabar town, where the palm trees sway and the river whispers secrets, there lived a man named Ufot. Now, Ufot wasn't just any man. He was kind, hardworking, and his heart was as big as the sky. But there was one thing missing in his life, and that's a wife. Ufot had been searching for a wife for what seemed like an eternity. Every time he found someone he thought could be the one, they would slip through his fingers like water. Some said they were too busy. Others said they weren't ready. It seemed like the universe was playing a cruel joke on poor Ufot. One day, as Ufot walked through the bustling streets of Calabar, he met a woman named Uduak. She was beautiful, with her eyes like the midnight sky and a smile that could light up the darkest night. "Hello, handsome," Uduak said, her voice as sweet as honey. "I couldn't help but notice you from across the street. My name is Uduak. What's yours?" Ufot felt his heart skip a bit as he looked into her eyes. "My name is Ufot," he replied, his voice catching in his throat. From that moment on, Ufot and Uduak were inseparable. They spent every moment together, laughing and talking as if they had known each other their whole lives. Ufot was convinced that he had finally found the one. But little did he know that Uduak was not who she seemed. Behind her beautiful smile hid a darkness, a cunning and deceitful nature that would soon reveal itself. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, Ufot began to notice things about Uduak that he had never seen before. She would snap at him for the smallest things, criticize him constantly, and spend money as if it grew on trees. But Ufot ignored the warning signs, convincing himself that he was just being paranoid. After all, he had waited so long to find someone like Uduak. He couldn't bear the thought of losing her. And so, in a moment of desperation and longing, Ufot asked Uduak to marry him. And to his surprise, she said yes. But little did he know that he had just walked into a trap. Uduak's true nature would soon reveal itself in ways that Ufot could never have imagined. And so begins the unbearable story of Ufot and Uduak, a story of love, deceit, and the harsh realities of marriage. But will Ufot realize the truth before it's too late? Only time will tell. After their wedding, Ufot began to notice a change in Uduak. What once seemed like harmless mannerisms now revealed themselves as signs of something shady. One evening, as Ufot returned home from a long day at work, he found Uduak sitting in the living room, surrounded by bags from expensive stores. "What's all this?" Ufot asked, his heart sinking as he looked at the piles of clothes and accessories. Uduak flashed him a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Oh, just a little shopping spree," she replied casually. "I thought I deserved a treat." Ufot's stomach churned as he thought about the money they didn't have being spent on frivolous things. But he pushed his concerns aside, not wanting to start a fight. But the spending didn't stop there. Uduak continued to rack up debts in Ufot's name, buying things they didn't need and couldn't afford. And every time Ufot tried to talk to her about it, she would brush him off, telling him not to worry. But worry was all Ufot could do. He watched helplessly as their savings dwindled and their debts piled up. All the while, Uduak's spending habits spiraled out of control. And as if that wasn't enough, Ufot also began to notice Uduak's cruel characteristic. She would belittle him in the front of their friends, mock his dreams and aspirations for the future, and withhold affection as punishment for the smallest perceived insult. But through it all, Ufot remained hopeful. He believed that if he just loved Uduak enough, she would change. He held on to the idea that their marriage could still be saved, despite all the warning signs pointing to the contrary. But little did Ufot know that he was in for even a rougher ride. For Uduak's true intentions were far more frightening than he could ever have imagined. And as the days turned into months, Ufot would come to learn that sometimes love is not enough to save a marriage from the grip of deceit and manipulation. If you enjoyed the story, please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell icon so that you can get notified when I post another one of these awesome stories. And don't forget to share with your friends and loved ones. I appreciate your company here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.